Return to our initial conversation about developments within the All Progressives Congress. We understand the party has now commenced the processing of registering what it calls its over 40 million members electronically to consolidate its membership ahead of 2027 general election. I'm joined now by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Felix Morka. Live on the program. It's just 2023 and your party is already talking about 2027. But walk us through what this electronic registration is all about. What is the APC seeking to achieve?
Well, thank you very much for having me on the program. The party, the All Progressives Congress, is looking to digitalize its membership register to register electronically. This is the digital age. It's the age, of computers and the internet. So the party is also trying to keep pace with, technological developments to make our party register, more accessible, more comprehensive, more easily verifiable. The question of, whether an individual in any part of this country is a card-carrying member of the party. Right now, it's very painstaking to even establish that simple fact. But I believe that, if we transition to, digital record, it'd be much easier to verify at the top of a button who is a member and who is not. And, for so many other purposes, yes.
Please go ahead.
Yes, for so many other purposes, including issues of planning campaigns, planning party programs, outreach, distribution of benefits, verification of record. For so many reasons, we believe that this new platform will be very, forward-looking in terms of ensuring efficiency and effectiveness.
So, Mr. Morka, I'm sure not many believe the membership strength brandished by many political parties. For instance, how do you explain that just 2 years ago, your party claimed to have 40 million members and only 8 million of them voted for your candidate this year? I'm concerned, if you are also concerned, if the APC is going to involve some form of biometric registration to ascertain the authenticity of these numbers.
In doing this, by the way, let me clarify that process has not started, okay? Because, in your intro, one is left with the impression that is ongoing already. It's a declared objective, and the party is now beginning to, put together the modalities and the, instrumentation to make that happen. So, just to be clear for our viewers, the process has yet to start, but we're hoping that as soon as possible, as soon as we're able to organize the frameworks and the necessary technical, wherewithal, we will, in fact, launch. But, you're right. The last election showed a rather low turnout, not just of voters for the APC, but for, parties across the board. But, you must take that in the context of, the prevailing apathy amongst the electorate in the country. So many people, for so many reasons, whether it's, they didn't turn up. But I don't think that's anything to be concerned about too much. That's why we're taking this step, hoping that this gives us now, an opportunity to even further audit our membership register and figure out ways, to make sure that anyone who is on the register is, in fact, a registered member of the party for the purpose of record, but for the purpose of data, and also for the purpose of just share planning for elections and beyond.
I get your point about voter apathy, but the total number of votes really in February during the presidential election wasn't even up to 40 million, and so it's really hard to tell how whether or not these figures aren't over bloated, and perhaps a biometric form of registration will be the way to go to be sure of the numbers. But will members now still require to carry physical cards after this e-registration?
It's too early to comment on the kinds of instruments that will either be used for the process or that will be the outcome in terms of evidence of membership. Those are the matters and the issues which the party will begin to sort through as we proceed in this effort. But the point here is that we want to be not just Africa's largest party, but also the best documented technologically.
So it's been a mixed fortune as small tribunal judgments come in from legislative elections across the board for all of the parties. Some that won at the ballot now are saying that things are turning quite differently. But what do you think every election year, parties still find themselves losing election based on pre-election matters that could have been resolved at the party level?
Well, there are two things. One is that, people who contest at the level of primary election were people who went into that process hoping to win at that primary level so they can contest in the general election. So often, even long after the primaries, have come and gone, those who have grievances continue to maintain their claim to victory or to challenge the outcome at that level. And it's all healthy, it's all good. You can't muscle them out. The party cannot say to its members who contest and lose, that they should not pursue, their grievance, mechanism in court to try to get remedy if they believe strongly that they actually are entitled to one. The party cannot do that. But, what you find now is that, yes, some pre-election matters can become the basis on which even elections are nullified, depending on the circumstances. The Electoral Act does recognize that in some cases, the question, for example, of whether an individual is qualified to contest an election can be a pre-election matter, but can also become relevant, because if that individual was not qualified to contest in the first place, then the question of, a certain victory or sustaining the victory declared by even INEC becomes, questionable. So, because you can't put something on nothing and expect it to stay. If there was no basis of that candidacy, then the courts are permitted to, rule, even after election, that individual did not, meet the requirements to contest in the first place. That is a legitimate legal construct.
Interesting way you've put it. Mr. Morka, we have to go now, but it's well over 100 days of the APC Tinubu-led administration. Does your party have a mechanism of measuring the president's performance? How do you think it's doing vis-a-vis the Renewed Hope manifesto?
Look, the president is doing, very well. We're very happy with the steps taken so far. Now, make no mistake, this president has demonstrated enormous courage in the policies that he has, announced already. These are policies which, his predecessors either were shy or were too, afraid or were not certain to take. But these are steps which must be taken. Like, there's no question. It's inescapable that these policies, like the fuel subsidy, the attempt to harmonize the exchange rate, these policies are required if we must turn the corner. It's not negotiable. So I think that in as much as we admit, and of course everyone is concerned about the immediate repercussions, we are confident that the long-term benefits of these decisions will outweigh and outlive the transient pain that our people are going through, which is, of course, very concerning.
The end, they say, justifies the means. Trust me, Nigerians are counting on that and hoping to see the results of all of these hard decisions that have been taken in the past 100 days. Felix Morka is the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you.
Well, that's our program today. You can watch a repeat at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. See you again tomorrow.